Hey, what's up? It's Andrew with Field Treasure Design. So I'm back in my office with another project. So when we got here, I didn't have a desk and I needed to get to work. So I looked on Facebook Marketplace, found an old library desk table. The problem was it was just a little too short and I want to join the standing desk movement. And as you can see, it's pretty sweet to be able to walk up, get work done, and then walk away without having to sit down. Plus it's just better for your health, right? So for 20 bucks, I bought some posts at the local hardware store, modified it according to the desk, and raised it up. Then I added a few other customizations, but overall, this thing is awesome, and I'd love to show you how I did it, so check this out. So first I wanted to take off just one leg. I wasn't quite ready to give up my desk yet, so I used my stool to prop up the corner while I took the leg off, made my measurements, and just made sure this project was gonna work. As you can see, that was before I had done my new shelves on the corner. If you haven't seen that video, check that out. Next, it was time to cut the legs for my desk. I used two 4x4 posts, 8 feet long each. We're talking like 20 bucks. How awesome is that? So each leg was attached by what's called a threaded hanger bolt. And all I did was unscrew these out of the existing legs to then screw them back into the new legs that I was building. I'll put a link to them in case you want to check some out for your own needs. So as you can see, the profile of my new legs is a little bit bigger than the existing legs, but that's okay. I went ahead and lined them up to make my marks because I was going to shave them down to be able to match the exact dimension. It's okay that the legs themselves were a little bit wider than the other ones. I didn't mind. In fact, that was going to be kind of nice. So that's the profile of what I'm going to need to cut out. Since the legs laid on a corner, I needed to make my own jig to hold them steady while I used my spoke shave to carve out each section of what I needed to remove. And here's the spoke shave. Thankfully, I still had it in my toolbox. So I went to work grinding away, and then I realized, man, the post kept moving towards me, and then I had an idea. Boom. There was a stop block to help it push against it. Easy idea. Little sanding just to clean it up. Here's a quick shot of the setup. As you can see, it was a little janky, but it worked. Then I had 3 more to do. I grabbed the old legs to find the location of the hole to use that measurement for my new legs. Transfer the lines, and if you remember, I had taken the old bolts out of the old legs. I grabbed a 3/8" drill bit, and then I measured up to the depth of where the bolt was inserted into the wood. I put some tape in to make my mark and got to work drilling. Held my drill nice and level and just used that tape as the stop depth. Once I was done, I just reversed the process, inserting the bolt and then turning it by hand. And there it is. It will be secured with a butterfly nut. And then the fun part is to go install these bad boys. It went pretty straightforward. Had my little helper come in for a second, then adjust the seat. And just like that, I've got a standing desk now. But I wasn't finished. I wanted to do a shelf underneath for my printer, so I went to my buddy's shop to drill holes in the black pipe that I was going to use. Then I took them back to my shop to get rid of all those sticky labels. I used a utility knife blade to remove all of the labels. Then I assembled the pipe shelf hanger. It's always a good idea to assemble your pieces so that they're a tight fit when they're ready to install. After a little bit of trial and error, I got it to line up perfectly. You're probably thinking, what is this going to be for? Well, don't worry, I'm going to show you just in a second. It's going to hold the front part of my bottom shelf. A few more adjustments, and now ready. Next was to install it underneath the desk, and now you can probably see what I'm doing. Next was to cut my backboard for the shelf to rest on the back of the desk. Did a bunch of pocket holes, and we were ready to bring it in. One side and then to the other side. As you can see, my helper's back. Then it was back to the shop to cut my shelf out of 1/2 inch plywood. I decided to just go with the natural look, rounded the edges to make it nice and smooth. Busted out the sander, just making it real nice. I thought, let's not worry about sanding it. Let's just keep it natural since I'm already Mod Podging the look of the desk anyways. Laid it in, perfect fit. Attached my screws, then I laid the printers on top. Ooh, that's looking good. I wrangled all my cords with zip ties, which is a trick I like to use. Since it was so cold outside and I didn't want to take the desk apart anyways, I decided to just stain it right there with some cardboard underneath, and I just was real careful with it. I went with the same color as I had done with my pipe shelves. That's the finished project you can see behind me there. Since I wanted this desk to be done as soon as possible, I decided not to strip down the top and refinish it. I'm okay with it looking like a mashup right now. My last step was to fasten the plywood shelf to the pipe. And there it is, the finished product. This is my standing desk mod. I took an old library desk and converted it to a standing workspace that is awesome. I've got my shelf underneath. I've got a stool if I need it. It fits in, even though it's kind of a mashup of stains, but I love it. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay connected. Thanks.